All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to learn about if statements in Java. So some of us have already been playing around with if statements. Maybe you have investigated some programs online, which is great. That's a great way to learn. So we're going to summarize if statements in this note. We may not get through the whole thing in this video, but if not, we'll continue on in a future video. Okay, so we're going to start easy here. I've imported scanner, and I've created a scanner variable, and I'm simply going to ask the user to enter their age. Okay. So I am going to make an int variable because usually someone's age is not a decimal point. I mean, I guess it could be, and then you would do double. But for this program, I'm going to use an int variable and call it age, and I'm going to assign age scan.nextInt. Okay, so this will wait for user input, and the moment that they enter an integer and press enter, then it's going to be stored inside this variable. Okay, so once again, in your computer's memory, there's going to be a variable called age, and it should be storing a number that's entered by the keyboard, through the keyboard. Okay, so right now I'm just going to print a little message, just saying age is only a state of mind. Okay, so just a little message that's going to be printed. All right, so if I stop and I run this right now, very simple program. Enter your age. I'm just going to put 23, and age is only a state of mind. That's it. Okay, so the program is done. I'm just going to resize this window a little bit, make it a bit smaller. Okay. So let's make this a little more interesting. We're going to say here if, and it's all lowercase, age, so if this variable age is less than 21, then I'm going to do something special. I'm going to say, I'm going to print a message here saying, youth is a wonderful thing. Okay. So when I run this program, the variable is going to be created, and the user is going to enter a number inside here, and then I'm going to ask this question: if age is less than 21. By the way, if you don't know, that kind of looks like an L, that little symbol. So that stands for less than. So if it looks like an L, then it means less than. If you're reading it out to yourself. So if age is less than 21, then I'm going to print this. Now, after that, I'm going to do this. I'm going to print this. Now, what if age is not less than 21? What if I enter 30? Well, then this statement will be false, so we're not going to do this. But we are still going to print this final message at the end. Okay, so let's just review that. So if I run this and I put 15, okay, so now when I press enter, the if statement is true, so it's going to print youth is a wonderful thing, and then it always is going to print age is only a state of mind. This statement gets printed all the time, regardless of whether this is true or false, because I put it outside of the if statement. Okay, and if I run that one more time, and this time I put, let's say, 40, okay, so it only prints the second message, because this Boolean expression here was false. All right. Now, what if I wanted to add a second line of code? Enjoy your youth. Whatever, just some kind of statement there. All right, so you need to be careful. If you have more than one line of code in the if statement, you have to put curly brackets surrounding the body of the code, and you do it just like this. You put the braces underneath the I in if, okay, and make sure that the braces are lined up, and then it's good form to tab the body of the if statement. So when I say the body, I mean all the code that's inside the if statement. Just indent all of that. It just makes it easier to read. Okay, so when I run this now, if I were to enter 15, Well, yes, that's less than 21. This expression is true. So that means I'm going to do both of these statements, and then I'm also going to print that at the end. Okay. So there's other things you can do here. You can put an else statement, and then again, curly brackets surrounding the body of the code. And then you can put separate code inside here just in case this is false. So that's what the word else means. Else, it means if this is false, if this is not true, then let's do this code. So I'm going to print welcome to adulthood. Okay, something like that. So if I were to enter, let's say my age was 40, so this would be false, so it would not print this, and then it would go to the else and it would print this statement here, welcome to adulthood, and then of course this is my final statement, so this would be printed all the time, again, because this is not part of any of these bodies here. Okay, so it's always going to print this at the end. But if I print something less than 21, it's going to do this code and not this code. Okay, so hopefully this is making sense. Okay, so what you're looking at here, this is an example of a two alternative if statement. So it's either going to do this or it's going to do this. It's going to do one of these two things, but not both. Okay, and we'll just give it a little run here, test it out. So if I enter 40, then it's going to go to the else statement, and it's going to print welcome to adulthood, and then age is only a state of mind. Okay. One thing to notice here, you never put a semicolon at the end of an if statement or at the end of an else. You don't put semicolons there. All right. Okay, so let's look at one more example, and that is what if we want more than two conditions? So right now I just have two possibilities, but what if I want to open the door to having more possibilities? So I am going to change this. I'm going to change this up a bit. I'm going to say if age is less than 4, then I'm going to change this up and say you are a toddler. Okay. Now I'm going to have another statement that says else if age is less than 13, then it's going to say you are a child. And then I'm going to have another else if. So this is how you add other alternatives, is by saying else if and then another Boolean expression. So else if age is less than 20, you are a teenager. Okay, let's add another one. Else if age is less than 60, I'm going to print you are an adult. Okay, and then maybe we'll do one more. Now, for the very last one, I'm just going to say else. And that basically means if all else fails. So if all of these statements are false, then I'm going to say you are a senior. Okay, so let's zoom out a little bit so we can see the whole if statement here. Okay, so they're going to enter an age. And if they enter, let's say they enter 1, my age is 1. Then this statement here will be true right away. Age is less than 4. So it's going to print you are a toddler. And then what happens is we jump all the way out. We don't even look at any of these things. The compiler does not even evaluate this. It doesn't even look at it. Since this is true, it does this code, and then it jumps to the end of this purple block of code. BlueJ colors it this kind of purplish color. So it jumps all the way out, and then it prints this. Age is only a state of mind. Okay, let's just check that and see. So if I enter 1, it just says you are a toddler, and then it jumps out. It ignores all of these else ifs, and it goes right to the final statement. Now, let's say I enter 15. So let's pretend my age is 15. So it goes from top to bottom. It'll evaluate this, and this is false. So it does not print this. And then it goes to the next one. This is also false because my age is 15. So it's not going to do this. So then the third one is true. This statement is actually true. So it's going to print this, and then it jumps out of the if block, out of this purple if block, and it just goes down to here and continues with the rest of the program. Okay, so let's just see that. If I enter 15, it says you are a teenager. Age is only a state of mind. That's it. Okay, so the rule here is the compiler will test every Boolean condition one at a time from top to bottom until it finds the first one that is true. And when it finds it, it jumps in and it does this code, and then it kicks you out of this big connected if block. Okay, and then it jumps out to here. Now, if none of these things are true, like if I entered 65, so none of these conditions are true, then it's going to go to the else right here, and this kind of catches everything else. So it's going to print you are a senior, and then age is only a state of mind. Okay. All right. So that is all I'm going to say for now about this. So we will do some practice, and in the next video we're going to talk more about these things right here. They're called relational operators, and we'll see exactly what other types of operators we can have there. But that's it for this video, and we'll catch you in the next one.